Here's a full day of eating. I'll be taking you through what I eat on a daily in order to stay lean effortlessly, no skin issues, and stay high energy and no gut issues. So the first thing I do immediately after waking up is I make sure I drink one of these bad boys, a liter of water. I try to drink 3 to 4 of these a day, and it depends on how I'm training. If I'm training high intensity on that day, then I drink 4. If I'm not training at all, then I drink 3. After drinking water, the second thing I do is I immediately eat fruits. That's the first thing I eat in the morning. The reason I eat fruits first thing in the morning is because the morning is your body's metabolic window. That's when insulin and cortisol is the most active in the body. So that's the best time for you to eat fruits. It's the best time for you to fuel your body with energy, with quick energy. So you're signaling abundance to your body, to your metabolism, right? Because when your body knows you're in abundance, it starts burning more fuel rather than storing it for fat. So in the morning, I used to fast. I used to do intermediate fasting, but of recent, I no longer fast. This is the new way. Fruits first thing in the morning. We have some oranges, kiwis, plums, and tamarinds. Tamarinds, they look like shit. This is the best, one of the best fruits ever. It detoxifies your bodies of microplastics and heavy metals, and it detoxifies your brain from fluoride. Fluoride is what's found in toothpaste. So when we use toothpaste to brush our teeth, fluoride goes to our brain and it accumulates. Long term, it's bad for our brain. So this is a super fruit. So I eat fruits till noon. I wake up, I drink my water. After drinking my water, I eat my fruits. That's all I do till noon. Try as much as possible to diversify the kind of fruits you're eating, because we need a diverse gut. So I try to eat at least 30 plant varieties in a week, 30 different plants. For example, today I'm eating kiwis, plums, tamarinds, and oranges. Tomorrow I'll be eating pear, plums, mangoes, and maybe limes, right? Because I'm trying to create a diverse gut where I'm feeding my gut and my body everything it needs, and I'm not monotonous where I'm eating the same things every single day, because at some point it gets boring. So yeah, let me eat my fruits. One more thing, when eating, I make sure I'm intentionally and mindfully eating. I'm not eating and watching YouTube, or eating and scrolling through TikTok, or eating and talking to somebody. I make sure I focus on my food, and I make sure my body acknowledges the food and appreciates the food, because that's how you need to think of food. I think of food like food is not something you use for entertainment. Food is something spiritual, right? Because you're feeding your body and you need to appreciate the food. You need to appreciate the process through which this food arrives to you, because this fruit, it went through sunlight, it went through rain, it went through different types of weather. A farmer planted his food and it was shipped to your supermarket. Then you decided to work for money, then you bought the fruit, and you ended up eating it. So I try to keep that process in my head, especially when I'm eating meat. I keep the process in my head and I kind of say a little prayer to the meat to appreciate its life, because the meat lives for me, right? I don't know if you guys are understanding. I don't know if you're understanding, but yeah, mindful eating changes everything. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of people are fat, a lot of people are overweight, because they see food as entertainment. They see food as something to use to pass time instead of something sacred. If you see food as something sacred, and if you appreciate the food, if you acknowledge the food, you're less likely to abuse the food. You're more likely to appreciate it and not overeat. That's how it is. And you're more likely to receive satiety signals. Satiety is the feeling of fullness, right? So mindful eating, focus on the food. I'm done. After eating, make sure you go out for a walk for about 10 minutes. That's what I do, especially in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, the last thing you need to do is sit on your bed and scroll your brain away. Go out for a walk, get some sunlight, get some vitamin D. It's good for your mental health, it's good for preventing depression and anxiety. Today I'm not training, I'm not hitting the gym because I'm working later on today. So I'll go for a walk, and by the time I'm done, it's going to be noon. Then I'll have my second meal. So let's go. I'm about to feed you with wisdom. I talk about this all the time. When you're eating, make sure your meals do not contain high carbs and high fats, because carbs and fats are energy sources and they use the same pathway in order to convert for energy. So when you're mixing high carbs and high fats, your body gets confused. Your metabolism gets confused on what to use for energy. It ends up burning the fats for energy, thereby leaving glucose in your blood, leaving carbs in your blood, and the carbs get stored as fat instead of being used for energy, right? And also, when you're eating high carbs and high fats, it's super addictive because it activates too much dopamine in your brain, in your reward center. Think about the most addictive foods like pizza. Pizza is high carbs and high fats. Pizza makes you fat, right? Cookies is high carbs and high fats. It makes you fat and it's addictive. What else? Pastries are high carbs and high fats, and they are addictive. So you can do high protein, high carbs and low fat, or high protein, high fat and low carbs, right? But never mix high carbs and high fats, because you're just slowing down your metabolism. That's one of the most important things you should get out of this video. At least if you're getting value out of this video, it should be no high carbs and no high fats mixed together in the same meal. I'm back from my walk and I'm about to feast beef and rice. By the way, I don't count calories. I don't think it's sustainable long term, right? Unless you're trying to achieve a certain goal in a short period, that's when I think counting calories is good. But long term, nah. What I do is I eat good food. I listen to my body. I eat until I'm full. And when I'm full, that's when I stop eating. And I stay lean. So the reason most people count calories is because they eat bullshit. They eat unhealthy foods. They mix high carbs and high fat. So they get fat. But if all you do is eat healthy and you're eating till you get full, then there's no need to count calories. You can stay lean effortlessly. Secondly, counting calories does not make you appreciate the food, because you begin to see food as numbers instead of seeing food as what it truly is, which is God-given and it's divine, it's sacred, right? So I don't count calories. I'm having a lot of beef and rice with sauerkraut, fermented cabbage. Here's the brand, Baxter's. Yeah, it's good for the gut. Prebiotics is the food for your good bacteria in your gut. So fermented cabbage contains the good bacteria your gut needs in order to multiply the good bacteria and to kill the bad bacteria. What else? I've got some potatoes in the air fryer. I'll eat that with 5 eggs. I'm not shy with food. I make sure I eat until I'm full. I eat until I'm satisfied. I also try to go high carbs during the day, because you need high carbs in order to stay alert, in order to stay focused, and to have the energy to take on the day. Because later on today, I'm working, I'm going to work, so I need my carbs. Remember, mindful eating, no eating and watching Netflix, no eating and scrolling YouTube, right? You set your phone, you set your food, and you eat. Focus on the food. Time for my second meal. 5 eggs, sweet potatoes, and white potatoes cooked in the air fryer. When making your eggs, make sure you do not scramble your eggs. Make sure you preserve the yolk, because the yolk is the most important part of an egg. When you scramble your eggs, the heat denatures the protein, so you lose a lot of protein, you lose a lot of choline, which is good for our gut barrier and good for the brain. So preserve your yolks, eat your eggs, enjoy your eggs. The time is 4 o'clock and I'm eating again. 0% fat Greek yogurt, berries, creatine, raw honey, and cinnamon. For the 0% fat Greek yogurt, I cycle between 0% fat and full fat Greek yogurt. Let's say this week I'm eating 0% fat Greek yogurt. Next week I switch to full fat Greek yogurt. So I cycle between both, and with some cinnamon and creatine. Creatine is the only supplement I take because it helps me to recover. I train hard in the gym, so creatine is very important. And if you decide to get all your creatine from your diet, you'd have to eat a lot of meat, like a ton of meat, to get 10 grams of creatine. This is 10 grams of creatine, which I get in 2 scoops. So it's easier to supplement creatine as compared to any other nutrient or any other supplement where you can get from your diet. Creatine is an exception. The honey is good for quick energy because I'm working and I finish late. So when I'm back, I'll eat something again. Take a look at the drip. Oh my god, take a look at these shoes. Oh my gosh. I just came back from my job and it's time to feast. Something is cooking. We have some chicken, air fried chicken, and jacket potatoes. And in case I'm trying to snack, I can snack on dark chocolate, 90% dark chocolate. When buying dark chocolate, make sure it's 85% and above. Anything below 85% is pure sugar. It's bullshit. And if I still feel like snacking, I can snack on some carrots. I can snack on some fruits. I can snack on some Greek yogurt and berries. That's all I have for my snack. Abundance. Thank God for good food. This is what life is all about. Take care of yourself. Well, that's it. Hope you learned something from this video. And if you're looking for one-on-one help, click the link in the description, book a call, and I'll see if you're a fit for my one-on-one program.